Hey there, welcome back to Legendary TV. Name is Phil, Legend, emphasis on the legend. I know it's been a hot minute, cause low-key, I just been working on the animated short lately. Yes, Phil, Legend, yours truly, is an animator. Phil, Legend Animation. Yeah, 3D animator, if you were asking. Yeah, it's just kind of been busy, you know. I've been hitting some movies often lately. I've seen The Odyssey twice. Like, that was really fire. It was so peak, I had to watch it twice. Like, is that good? And like, I know like people would just be like, it's kind of funny. They've been saying how like it's historically inaccurate or just inaccurate at all, considering how the casting and like certain things, but like then I realized it's an epic poem. It's a story. It's not even real. So what? Why y'all? So what's the argument? Like, oh my God, it really hurts my head just thinking about it. Just like, oh my God, dude. But anyway, Death Battle. Aang versus Traveler, Avatar, Last Airbender versus Genshin Impact. Not gonna lie, I know so little of Genshin Impact, cause like I don't even play the game, cause I know better than to be part of the whole gacha scheme, as far as I know of, because I heard like they be like spending money on Genshin Impact just to get good characters, or something I just know of. But Aang. I mean, there's a new show, there's a movie following up the whole thing. Thought it was kind of early, though, not gonna lie. Or maybe he's like doing it, or maybe they're like, when he was 12, they fought Traveler, but, cause like, how's that gonna work? Cause as far as I know of, ain't Genshin Impact characters like built different compared to like the characters in Avatar? Because I've seen gameplay before. I see how they be moving. So my question is Aang able to just take away the Traveler's abilities? Or is that completely different? Because like, Traveler's like a whole nother level. And like for like Avatar, that's like elemental. Oh boy, I might as well get into this, and they're using 3D animation. Okay, I'm with it. Alright, let's do this. Oh, okay, time skip, I guess.
The Avatar versus Aether, the Traveler.
Which journeyman
Aether?
will come out on top in this elemental battle?
That's the name?
I'm Boomstick.
And it's our job to analyze their weapons, armor, and skills to find out who would win a death battle.
Yeah, I was not expecting Aang to have that time skip. I thought they were going to do it when he was 12.
Earth,
fire, air.
Long ago, the four nations lived in harmony, united by a master of the elements, the Avatar.
This Avatar reincarnated as different people for centuries, all with their own struggles. And man, was that true for our boy Aang.
Not at first, of course, thanks to his master and guardian, Gyatso.
As a cheeky little air nomad, Aang traveled the world causing shenanigans, all while learning to control the winds with airbending.
Based on the real-life martial art Bagua Zhang, airbending is the most spiritual of the four bending styles, focusing on evading and diverting attacks through circular motions. With even the smallest movement, Aang can create tornadoes, run like the wind, and block hypersonic explosions.
The perfect style for a twinkle-toed goofball like Aang. He even invented his own technique, the air scooter. How does he not fall off that thing?
Add in a glider staff for flight, and the sky was the limit. But you know how it goes. Everything changed when the Fire
Nation attacked.
Their conquest spread. War was inevitable, and Aang was the only one who could save the world.
Yeah, he wasn't happy with all that, and being forcibly separated from Gyatso. He was just a kid, so he froze up. Like Literally, he accidentally froze himself in his adorable sky bison Appa for 100 years.
Until he was awakened by the Water Tribe siblings Katara and Sokka.
Sokka.
Time wasn't kind to Aang's people. With no avatar to keep balance, the Airbenders, Aang's entire culture, were wiped out by the Fire Nation.
Oh, that's rough, buddy. But Aang took the wake-up call to heart.
As the Avatar, it's Aang's duty to understand the world's people, learning their cultures, their sadness, joy, and humanity.
And what better way to do that than learning how they kick ass?
From the Northern Water Tribe and his twin crush, Aang learned waterbending. Themed around fluid Tai Chi movements, this style controls liquid in all forms to freeze targets, create water whips, and even cut through steel.
Learning earthbending was way tougher, but Aang's friend Toph taught him to stop being a wimpy pushover. Now he can armor himself in stone, move the terrain of entire cities, and fight blind with a sonar-style seismic sense.
Earthbending is themed around the steady stances of Hung Quan Kung Fu, waiting for the right moment to strike head-on.
There was a lot to learn, but even with the world at stake and this moody hothead on his tail, Aang had fun doing it. Who could forget the adventures penguin sledding, going through the bending bayous, and living in Ba Sing Se, the city where no wars
There was no
ever
war
happened.
in Ba
Yet
Sing
across
Se.
his journey, one power eluded Aang, the Avatar state, an enhanced mode of being that came to him in moments of peril.
Sure, if Aang dies in it, the Avatar cycle ends permanently, but who cares when it gives you enough power to wipe out a whole Navy fleet?
Come on, Boomstick. The Avatar state is more than just a power amp.
Jocelyn, how long have you been standing there?
I mean,
I've been here the whole time. I lurk where all Avatar talk is. Through the cosmic power of the Avatars before him and the ancient spirit
I
Rava,
thought so.
Aang gains the knowledge and experience of all previous Avatars. Great.
the Avatar cycle dates back to approximately 10,000 years. And he gathers knowledge? Low-key like Buffy the Vampire Slayer. As far as I know of.
Expanding his bending options. Lava bending from Avatar Roku, sonic shouts from Avatar Yang Chen, and even more are theoretically available to him through their memories.
Oh, I get it. You can't just grind your way to controlling the Avatar state.
Right. If Aang wanted to stop Fire Lord Ozai, he needed something else.
He needed onion banana juice.
Yeah, technically, I suppose. Gross.
Specifically, Aang sought the guidance of Guru Pate. Mastering his power meant clearing his chakras, emptying his mind of earthly attachments. Seems simple, but this also meant rejecting his feelings for Katara, the person he loved most.
When he had to choose between the world or the girl, Aang followed his heart and it didn't end well.
Yeah.
He got better. Aang was determined to understand the world's people, even the enemy Fire Nation. Something he accomplished thanks to the redeemed Prince Zuko, the Sun Warriors.
And these two honkin' dragons! Aang was scared of firebending, but it's totally awesome. It's not just about burning and blowing shit up. Okay, well it is, but there's so much more to it.
Formed from the explosive movements of Shaolin Kung Fu, firebending controls all manner of heat. And through the teachings of fire and water, he can redirect lightning bending, a burst of atmospheric discharge shot at over 200,000 miles per hour.
Iroh, the best uncle ever, used his techniques to redirect natural lightning. So, you know it's the real deal. Not crazy enough? At his peak, Aang surpassed benders who could throw buildings, melt stone, and hold up this gigantic library solo. Whooping Ozai's butt should be no problem, right?
Not exactly. You see, the air nomads were pacifists who believed in the value of life above all. Being the last airbender, Aang didn't think his people were truly gone unless he went back on their teachings, meaning he really didn't want to kill Ozai.
So, what, he's just a coward now? Mr. Firelord is about to burn down the entire Earth Kingdom.
Not at all. Are you even listening? Aang was simply at odds with what he wanted and what the world expected, so he needed to make a choice.
Right. In his greatest challenge yet, Aang discovered his true self, making his spirit unbendable and finally mastering the Avatar state.
Making him as strong as avatars who could cause hurricanes, tsunamis, and volcanic eruptions.
Or in Avatar Kyoshi's case, a new island. As in, she broke off nearly 30 square miles of a peninsula to form a new landmass. But to defeat Ozai, Aang needed one final element, something few avatars had been before. Energy bending.
Not the easiest thing to do, but Aang totally
So that's what it
overwhelmed
was?
Ozai, severing the tyrant's connection to fire and stopping his invasion, all while keeping his no-kill
I thought it was a
intact.
withdrawal.
The ultimate FU to this warlord's ideology.
Now that the Fire Nation had cooled off, Aang led a new era of peace with the United Republic of Nations, a place where all people could prosper, and where a new generation and a new avatar would take the reins.
He even got hitched with Katara. Take that, Zutara.
Not gonna lie, I never understood the hate for Korra. Like, I never did. Like, I seen the show before, but I still didn't get it. Like, why do they hate her so much? Like, I'm not defending against her or anything. Like Korra don't messed up a lot of things, especially in Seven Havens. But like, is she that useless? Shoot, I might need to rewatch the show again. Oh boy.
Shippers?
I will end you.
For all his doubts, Aang fulfilled the Avatar's destiny and then some, and he did it in a way that was true to who he was.
Because before being the Avatar, or even an Airbender, the greatest thing he could ever be was himself. All in a day's work for a free, fun-loving kid.
The battle is coming up thanks to this episode's sponsor, DraftKings.
Alright, straight to Aether. How do you even say that?
A barbecue sauce.
9 p.m. Eastern Time.
Add extra barbecue sauce.
Ad Astra Abyssos. Welcome to Tevat, a mysterious land governed by godly archons that drew the eye of someone beyond the stars. Ether.
AKA the Traveler, who escaped his dying world with his sister
Dang,
Namine, in
thousands?
search of the flowers that bloomed on their lost home, only to crash land, awaken to an apocalypse, and get cubed by this jerk.
Separated from his sister, Ether awoke, again, in a new, less apocalyptic age, and fished up his own pathetic pet pixie, Paimon.
Yeah, she makes for good emergency food. With his new guide, Traveler to the windy country of Mondstadt to find his link to the past, but got a Breath of the Wild glider instead.
And his first element, Animo, letting him make air slashes, tornadoes, and of course,
Windblade! But guess what? Traveler wasn't the only one with a power like this. Tevat was full of blessed people wielding these relic things called visions.
vision bearers can imbue their weapons and bodies with elemental power, summon items, and use a special, well, vision to perceive the elements around them.
Normally, they're limited to a single element.
Okay. Resonation, Abyss Soul Purification, Elemental Reactions, Elemental Sight, Summoning, Night Soul's Blessing, Teleportation, Surrounds, Indwelling, Spirit Breath, Thorn, and Xenochromatic?
But Traveler is just built different. Through Paimon's guidance, he began collecting elements from mysterious statues across Tevat. No vision relic needed for him.
Each nation had a new culture, a new element, a new crisis.
And new character banners. When asked to play a sleuth for a murder case in Liyue, Traveler wasn't interested. A corpse couldn't tell him where his sis was, but he was roped in anyway and got the Geo ability to form rock constructs and eruptions of Earth.
When Ether ventured to Inazuma, he didn't care about its war with the Vision Bearers and their Archon either, until he saw the suffering caused by its tyrannical rule, and joined the resistance with Electro abilities, fighting the powers that be using electric buzzsaws, thunder blades, and lightning.
He even learned to dodge lightning. Other Electro users like my wife Lisa can conjure storms. No shock when my adopted daughter Klee made explosions that raised mountains. Traveler met all kinds of people like this. You know the type. Twinks.
Yeah. Tevat has its own laws, Boomstick. Many twinks being one of them. Maybe 2 or 3 of them, actually.
Ringmaster.
Shut up, Wiz. This guy's been playing Genshin since launch.
I know everything there is to know about the Genshin meta. Either can mix elements for different reactions. Basically, big elemental combinations. Geo crystallizes materials into special barriers. Electro mixed with water stuns foes. Animo spreads elements around in swirls of destruction. Boom!
Like how I combine beer and gunpowder.
Exactly, Boomstick. Using Dendro, Traveler can form plant life that, when mixed with water and lightning, makes homing beams. Yeah, run from that. With enough clever thinking and
That's actually kind of cool.
Farming, you can combine anything in Genshin.
Okay, we get it. Go lose another 50-50, you whale.
I'll show you a whale. Drop one on your lap next time you're not looking.
In Sumeru, Traveler later beat Scaramouche, an edgy catboy with multiple elements at his fingertips, all in a time loop that got repeated 168 times.
Speaking of time, Ether had control of more than just his own future. Tevet's fate fundamentally changed in ways small and grand, all through his unending willpower.
Because the Traveler was a descender, someone unbound by the land's destiny. Even this big tree that records all of the world's events had no idea he existed.
Like when he helped defy the judgment of a biblical flood in Fontaine, where he mastered Hydro for his best Cuphead impression with water bullets.
Heck, a dinosaur chose not to blow up the world just because Paimon
Not
and
expecting a
Traveler
Cuphead
were
shade.
If that wasn't cool enough, Traveler can, unrelated, turn into a dinosaur. Hell yeah! Yo, look at him. Wonder if I could get a dinosaur on my Genshin team.
Through these legally distinct Pokemon, Ether can fly, dig through the earth.
While Ether typically requires a Saurian and Spirit. Jesus, okay. To indwell, he could become a Saurian without either in the Archon quest where all hopes lie. Okay.
Or charge foes like a Jurassic bull. He traveled across the land, searching far and wide, and finally stopped swinging that one-star dull blade.
Instead, picking up the prototype Rancor, which he wields like a beast thanks to the Swordmaster Skirk, and several straight days of
I'm not even
training.
surprised.
What a grind set. Still, Traveler's Cyst kept eluding him, choosing to hang in the shadows with these Gluminati folk.
A group from Conria, the nation cursed by the gods for messing with the Abyss. Unbeknownst to Ether, his sister had already traveled to that in a journey that mirrored his own.
And at the end, she found... Well, we don't really know. Not yet, at least. But whatever it is got her to side with the creepy villains. Lot twist!
Eventually, Ether reached the nation of Natlan to fight in its never-ending war with the Abyss. He gained the Pyro element, learning to launch fireballs and explosions combined of flame with lightning.
He didn't just dabble in fancy pyrotechnics. By connecting with the people there, Traveler achieved Night Soul's Blessing, a power-up state fueled by primordial element juice, strong enough to make a blade of fire hundreds of feet long. Hell yeah, that's strong enough to take down the heart of the Abyss, which is on the level of 5-star waifus like Mawika and the Raiden Shogun.
An Archon who, in ages past, sliced Yashiori Island in two.
That's cool, but how about when this Venti guy threw a whole-ass mountain? According to Paimon, Traveler can level a mountain himself.
This claim was directly compared to the strength of Geodragon Sovereign, who Aether helped defeat.
Additionally, Ether learned how to use light energy to form a Kuvaki shield, something he used to protect the people of Nodcry by blocking a cannon blast with enough energy to obliterate a town.
This was no ordinary cannon either. It also uses Kavaki energy, so that's a beam of light.
Through all his adventures, Ether had come to genuinely care for Tevat's people. Maybe one day he will reunite with his sister, but for now, he's fighting for a whole new world. His new home.
Ooh, you need a higher adventure rank for that.
Don't you worry, gang. I dumped.
Always does his dallies before the guild, saved the little one from Flame Lord's blessing, caught a giant mechanical hand trying to crush him, trained several days straight, several days straight without rest, shooting the town from a beam. Oh man, I don't even know. Cause like, Avatar has experience, of course, because the Avatar legacy dates back to 10,000 years. So maybe maybe Aang might have, I guess, like counters to him. Because like one of the shoguns managed to like slice like 1/4 of land of an island. Hold up. Let's see. There we go. Like 1/3, like. My lordy. Or it wasn't a show. Let me hear that again.
Good.
An Archon who, in ages past, sliced Yashiori
Archon,
Island
okay.
in two.
That's cool, but
Ooh. Well, I don't know about this one.
Sorry, gang. I dumped all my savings into Primo Gems for this. We can't miss when those ice guys trying to kill the Traveler inevitably warm up to him. Still got it.
Oh, so that's why you're broke as shit.
To Ether, the
Yeah.
journey has meaning. The birds of Tibet, the songs of its people, they are all part of it. Even if he's against the abyss itself, a new dawn is somewhere just beyond the stars, and a field of flowers Lumine too loved.
Man, I'm looking kind of stuck on this one. Okay, so he's the youngest. I don't know. So he wiped out a naval fleet, caught an explosion with airbending, redirected lightning from Ozai. So he can so he's more likely to counter attacks from Aether, landing attacks, of the columns weighing thousands of tons. But Traveler's beyond that. Mechanical hand shielded the town from a beam. I wish I knew Genshin Impact like that, but I don't. Oh boy. And I think it was, yeah, because Aang has been up against with some people, but I low-key don't know. So Aether is kind of more in because my brother told me about this before. He said he was star level compared to Aang. Unless Aang can use energy bending. Which I kind of asked before, how would that even work? Would energy bending even work? That kind of took all abilities away. But he only used it on Ozai, and that only took fire. I mean, he did lightning bending too, so I guess he took 2. But Aether is and I don't know. Oh, word. Okay. Not for the lie. Not for the lie. Even though Aether is built different, Loki kind of a beast. I'm gonna go for Aang because Aang's my boy. He might lose because I feel like this is kind of an unfair fight, but well, let's see how they're gonna make this work.
It's time for a death battle!
I forgot they had comics. I think they did. Hold on. I'm sorry, fellas. Get this. They do. At least that can explain the grown up, a young adult design. I was so confused. Okay, gotta get that out of the way. Dang! Right off the rift, right off the bat, right off the staff.
Two elements?
Yeah. I don't know why, but that voice do not fit that design at all. I'm so sorry. Mm. Mm-hmm. Mm. Uh-oh.
What's going on? I'm on Ghost treasure hunting for 2 minutes now. Everything is going
Alper.
Cool glider. Can it do this?
Hey, yeah. Mm. Redirection. Boom. Dang.
Come on, traveler. Get up. Never, ever, ever stop moving forward. Remember.
No one
Pyro.
fights alone.
I think. Oh, there it is. Avatar state, baby.
For those who
Redirection.
came before, and those who will follow. I am Avatar Aang, the last Airbender.
Take this!
Oh. Dang.
Through the heights and shallows. Through infinite dusks and dawns.
Dang. Oh. At least you tried, Aang.
Way to go, traveler.
I guess energy bending wasn't possible.
And my dailies are done. What a miss.
This was an interesting pairing, so let's break this down by power, experience, speed, and elements.
First
All
up,
right.
power. Aang and
Clearly,
Traveler
Aether
can
got
both change
elements
the
there.
terrain of entire cities, and we're way stronger than characters that can break mountains. But at their peak, they're both tearing up islands.
Aang's avatar state made him on par with Kyoshi, who created and moved the island of Genshin.
Yeah, but
Similarly,
like,
Night Soul's blessing let Aether contend with Archon-level foes like the Raiden Shogun, who splits Yashiori Island in
yeah.
two.
All right, Kasha blocked something with 2 elements. Aether has more elements. Night Soul's blessing. It had some restrictions lifted by Columbina. Aether also survived the replication of something used by the Tor, whose power has been compared to an Archon.
An attack that even Vision Bearers weaker than Traveler can block. So he's definitely on that level.
Kyoshi Island is over 6 miles wide and long. Kyoshi moved the island 17 miles offshore in 2 seconds. So we have everything we need to calculate the amount of kinetic
Even generously scaling Aang to the moon spirit, Aether scales to Varka, who aided in pulling down the frost moon.
energy this would require.
Turns out it's basically the same as cutting through Yashiori Island, about 3,000 gigatons of TNT. So their power is tied up.
Which means comparing their experience is crucial.
Aether's mastered more elements than Aang, but the Avatar state gave Aang centuries of
Yeah.
knowledge.
With the memories and abilities of past avatars, Aang's kit was so extensive in a way Aether had no real answer for.
Not to mention, Aang's training
Most of Aether's thousands of years were spent in stasis, while the Avatar state grants Aang potentially 10,000 years of relevant combat knowledge.
was more focused. Traveler is skilled, sure, but his training was mostly just a means to finding his sister, while Aang's journey was all about mastering elements to combat other elements.
Experience narrowly goes to Aang. However, another important factor to consider is speed.
In terms of mobility, both could roughly match the other. If Traveler
Might
was
go for
mobilized
Aether,
without
I
bending,
think.
he could just dig his way out as a dinosaur.
And Aang's airbending and glider meant he could easily counter Aether if he took flight.
But in terms of raw reaction speed, Traveler had it in the
Yeah.
bag. Aang Aang bending away lightning is crazy fast, but Traveler could dodge lightning much earlier in his journey, and now he can block that light-speed Kuvaki laser.
While lightning
Yep.
can move over 200,000 miles per hour, a beam of light can move 186,000 miles per second.
Over 3,000 times faster than Aang. Traveler takes speed by a landslide.
So this all came down to the elements. Who could turn the forces of nature against the other?
At first, I actually thought this was Aang's dub.
Ether's elemental control is remarkable, but most of his attacks are projectiles, spires, and very specific implements that Aang has bent away in the past. Ether has never shown the precision or creative flexibility that we've seen with Aang's bending.
But throw in the combos of elemental reactions and the script flips. Traveler could mix not just his elements, but also
Yeah.
Aang's in ways that Aang could not. Bending was Aang's greatest strength, but also, against Traveler, a weakness.
Because Aang usually had one or more elements around him, it gave Ether an easy access point through these combinations. When Aang used fire, Ether could use lightning to catch him in an overload. If Aang used water,
Word.
Traveler's electrocharge could paralyze him,
Electricity.
and so on.
This isn't just a gameplay thing. Genshin characters like the
Elemental reactions are also mentioned by Prune in the Phantasmal Pals event quest, and her feelings about Ascension intro voiceover, so they are still canon in modern combat.
Lisa
Content.
canonically say this is how the elements work.
And unlike Aang, Ether has fought multiple people who can use multiple elements. The longer the fight went on, the more Ether would trip Aang up with these combinations, some of which Aang
Yeah.
could not bend.
Aang could redirect lightning, sure. But
Yeah,
what about electro
but-
buzzsaws, or an electrified tornado, or dendroblasts of pure plant energy?
The Kavaki shield especially gave Ether a strong defense to fall back on. Since it was made of pure light, Aang had no way to remove it outside of brute force.
By comparison, Aang's wind barrier wouldn't block Traveler's elements. It would actually merge with them and create more combos that would target Aang himself. Not a great situation to be in.
Jesus. Various Anemo characters engage in impact and fuse elements into their wind creations, such as Long Yang, combining elements with her wind shield.
And since Ether's powers came from external earthly sources, like those statues, Aang could not depower him with energy bending, even if he theoretically overcame Ether's willpower.
Willpower that is strong enough to
Gotcha.
alter the fate of the entire world. Sorry, Aang, but
I thought
elements
not.
goes to the Traveler, cinching his victory. Either way you cut it, he was in his element.
The winner is the Traveler, Ether.
Okay,
Alright.
I'm ready for my cameo. Oh.
I mean, it's been a hot minute, man.
Next
Yes.
time on Death Battle.
Who's up? Ninjago? Bionicle versus Ninjago? Hey!
Subscribe and join as a
Kai versus Toa. Ninjago versus Bionicle. Ninjago used to be my show as a kid, bro. I know so little Bionicle. I'm sorry. Like, just want to get that out of the way. Like, I've heard of Bionicle before, but like, Ninjago used to be so cool back then. Like, ninjas and elements, tornadoes and whatnot, spinjitzu. That was cool. Like, I remember binging the show with my brothers, but man, like I had a feeling Traveler would win because, like, again, the dude was star level, and I never really thought about like, cause yeah, he never used. Well, I guess he just used one element at once, despite like creativity. But yeah, Aang vs. Traveler. Not bad. Had a lot to learn about Genshin Impact now. So, with that, Phil Legend, signing off. Good day.